Now that the immediate manic moment of this whole Don Cherry affair is behind us and the dust has settled a little and we've got the opportunity to sit back and pause and think, and I'm hearing from a lot of readers, a lot of viewers, their anecdotes, their thoughts, personal stories about Don Cherry, things I'm hearing, the more I really don't like how this has gone down, and the more it really makes you think something incredibly rotten and unfortunate and needlessly divisive has happened, not just to Hockey Night in Canada viewers, sports fans, people who are part of an online mob, but really to the country in general. Because this whole Don Cherry affair, it wasn't like getting a sitcom canceled or, shaming a pop star for one of their, poorly spoken online comments or what have you. This was very different because it involved Remembrance Day, it involved our troops, our veterans, it involved hockey, a sport that we hold very dear all across this country. This did not unfold the right way. Lots of problems, really unfortunate things. And I've had a number of people tell me some different anecdotes. I had one reader write to me and say that they had a story where they had an experience where one of their relatives was very ill, was in the hospital, and was dying. And they got some message to Don Cherry saying, hey, it would be really nice if you could take 90 seconds to pick up the phone and call him and say some words to him, because he's been a fan of you for decades. Don Cherry didn't do that. He got in his car. He drove for 90 minutes, 2 hours. It wasn't close to where Cherry lived. He went to the guy's deathbed and he sat beside him for a whole hour and talked to him about hockey and life. He didn't know this guy. He didn't get any money for this. He'd go, wow. And I start to hear more and more stories about this. A politician told me that a number of years ago, before he got into politics, he had a family business that had been around for generations. And it was a big business for this small town in Ontario. It was a town of about 500 people. And again, this was a few hours from where Don Cherry lived, and they said, hey, would it be possible to get you to this anniversary, whatever it was, the 50th anniversary of the store, and maybe we can work out an appearance fee or what have you. Don Cherry just, got in the car, drove over, went there, spent the afternoon with this small town, and this really meant a lot, not just to this family business, but to everybody in this community. And I'm hearing more and more stories about this stuff this guy had done. And then suddenly we go, oh, well, here's one line he said, and this word didn't work with that word. We're really upset with all this. So, all right, mob, let's do our thing. Let's hound this guy. No time to pause. Go get him. Take away things that matter to him. Just knock this guy while he's down. You can say that you had a problem with Don Cherry's comments. And, I've gotten a lot of feedback from people that is not painting within the lines. For instance, I've heard from gruff middle-aged white guy hockey dads who say, no, it was wrong, he crossed the line, get him the hell out of there. I've heard from newcomers to Canada, new immigrants who said 2 thumbs up, they support everything Don Cherry said. So it's not a clean line here. It's not sort of easily defined camps and sides and all this. Different people have different opinions, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the manic feeding frenzy that unfolded. Now, a lot of media went to his home the past few days in Mississauga, and you might think that this is a guy, because he's got the fancy suits and so forth, and you hear rumors he makes massive amounts of money and so on, that this is going to be this big operation. But media goes to his house, and there's no PR guy, there's no bodyguard, there's no team of lawyers, corporate this and that, there's no agent, there's no manager. This is just a guy in his 80s sitting in his basement. And people are coming in, the media is hounding him in his own home. They're saying, are you a racist and are you a this and a that? That's kind of what's sad when you step back and look at this. This is a guy who, I'm sure he's not perfect. I will say I'm not someone who's been watching Hockey Night in Canada every Saturday for years like some people in our country. So I don't have a personal sort of deep-rooted affiliation and fondness for this, but when you just see this old guy who's been doing a lot of things, a lot of good things for decades. I'm sure he slipped up once or twice here and there. And you say, let's mob this guy. Let's destroy this guy over one line. It's just not right. And I think there's one thing he's owed. At the very least, what Don Cherry is owed is an opportunity to go out on his own terms, say a few words, say a couple minutes to the nation. He's going to be aware of the gravity of the situation. I really believe he'll rise to the occasion. Hopefully he can say some things to patch this up. And then what the broadcasters owe him. It's been interesting to watch the sports broadcaster community. They don't really have his back. All of those people on air, they're actually kind of turning on him. I'm not sure why. I'm in news media and political talk media. I'm not a part of sports media. It's been very interesting to watch that unfold. I think they need to be able to honor him. They need the clip of B-roll showing him over the decades and say, this guy is more than just this thing that he's got known for. He's more than this a couple jumbled word salad sentences that were a total mess. This guy's got a lot behind him, and he was a national icon. He is owed that much, very least. His whole saga, very sad, very just wrong that this had to unfold and happen on Remembrance Day.